you guys? Welcome back to Lily Reads. In today's video, we are going to be reading an entire series. We are going to be reading one of my most anticipated books of the year. And that is, of course, the Amari series. So, over on BookTube and Instagram, a booktuber by the name of The Lock Beautician, she hosts Blackoween. Blackoween is a time where we read all things spooky, speculative horror from Black authors. And I thought it would be perfect to be able to participate in that. It's also Halloween when you're seeing this video, and we have Amari, and it's all about, magic and witchy and all of this stuff. It all comes together for me to be able to do all of this at once. Now, we have to begin. I have read 2 books in this series already. There are 3 books in the series. I don't know how many there are going to be in this series, but I have read 2 already. And I have this thing with fantasy books. I have a bad habit of just picking up another book in a series and not going back to read the books before then, and I have no clue what's going on. So I've decided I am going to make sure I go back and read both of these books before I read this book, which I haven't read. So in this video, we are going to start by reading Amari and the Night Brothers. This is where it all kicked off. Now, believe it or not, I read these books for the first time last year. So therefore, it hasn't been that long, and I do think I remember most of it, but I just want to dive in with a good series. So we are going to start by reading Amari and the Night Brothers. I'm going to take you on a journey through these books and just fall in love with Amari and this world all over again. So we are going to start with Amari and the Night Brothers. And then we are going to move on to the sequel, which is Amari and the Great Game. By the way, this is by B.B. Alston. B.B. Alston is the author of these. And what's cool about Amari and the Great Game is that I got a signed edition, which is so cool. I don't even know how I got it. By the way, I have the UK editions because I think the UK hardcover editions are the superior covers. And then we are going to move on to my most anticipated book of the year, and it is Amari and the Despicable Wonders. And this is the book I have not read, and this is really what we came here for, but I just want to read the entire series with you. So over the next few days, we are just going to eat on this, and yeah, we are going to do some of the prompts for Blackoween. We are going to talk about all things Amari, Black people, witches, and all of that type of stuff. I will see you guys in the first clip. Peace. Hello, you guys, and good morning. I am about to fix me some breakfast. I already worked out this morning, which is always great, but I wanted to come and discuss Amari and the Night Brothers because I have just made it to like chapter 11. The chapters are really, really quick, and I want to make my coffee, so I thought I could kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So I need to come and give you guys my initial thoughts on Amari and the Night Brother. Keep in mind, I have 100% already read this book. Like, this is not a new book for me, but I need to come and tell you guys what this book is about. So in this book, we are following Amari. We start this book and Amari's brother is missing. Everybody assumes Amari's brother was in some gang shit, some stuff he wasn't supposed to be into, and so he got killed, and it was a little bit of street justice, and he is going away. But her mom and Amari, they always knew that that wasn't her brother. Her brother wasn't involved in any bad stuff. So it would be really weird for him to be in some gang stuff to be dead. So they just think he is missing, and the police need to do a better job at looking for him. Well, one day Amari is at school and some little white girl makes some joke about her, and she gets to whooping that little white girl's ass, and she basically gets like kicked out of her school because she's in like a special school that she gets like a grant or a scholarship for. And so she gets kicked out of this special school, and her mother is really, really disappointed in her. Well, one day someone knocks on her door, and she gets like a box in the mail, and this box in the mail is like, don't open this up around anyone. It gives her all types of special things she needs to do. And so she ends up doing it, and she sees that her brother appears in a hologram. Her brother appears in a hologram, and he's just like, I want to invite you into this magical world, this magical school. You need to do these steps and you can go to this magical world. Well. She ends up doing the steps, and Amari is transported into this magical world, this magical school that her brother has been at the entire time. The only issue is that her brother is missing in the magical world too. So like, the reason why her brother is missing in real life is because he's also missing in the magical world, and nobody knows where he is. And where I am in the story, Amari is trying to get her footing, and she's trying to see if she's gonna go to this magical school. Why is she being invited to this place? God, I love this book. I forgot how much I loved this book. What I love about this book is that this book gets going from the jump. Like, I'm only like 50, 60 pages in, and like, we already in the mess of it. This book does not take long to get into the meat and potatoes that's going on in this book. And I think this book, B.B. Austin, the author of this book, he answers the question of, can fantasy books about Black people have real world issues like racism, misogynoir, microaggressions, injustice, and also be fun, also be creative, also be joyful and triumphant? And the answer, like I always said it was, is yes. Yes, Amari is a middle schooler, and you don't want to see a middle schooler going through hard things, but like, that's with any book. Look at Percy Jackson, look at Harry Potter. Like, those people are having a great time. That's just, there's certain things in fantasy worlds, in certain narratives, especially the chosen one narrative, where like, you're going to go through some stuff. So obviously, if a main character is Black, you're going to have a Black main character deal with things that middle school Black kids would deal with, which would be racism, injustice, and all prejudice and all of that type of stuff. So you're able to have that, as well as get the chosen one element, as well as get something that is triumphant and victorious, and it all comes together and works. And when you do add those elements, instead of trying to act like, you know, the world is just great for Black people and why can't we just have rainbow, sunshine, and witches, you get books that have depth and that have layers and that have stakes. And that is Amari and the Night Brothers. I'm enjoying the hell out of this. So I'm going to read this probably all today. I would like to just read it all today. I do have some work to get done, but yeah, I'm just about to make my breakfast, and I guess you guys can watch me. I don't know. Peace. Hello, you guys. I have my workout clothes on. I am about to go work out, but I need to come and talk about Amari. So I did not finish this book yesterday. I actually made it to about the halfway point of this book, and we are fully getting into this book. I love Amari so much. You guys know I am not a fantasy person. I don't like fantasy books. I don't like science fiction books. It does not mean it's impossible for me to like those things. It's just usually I do not. But when I do like a fantasy book, it is when it's able to take contemporary characters, I guess the thing would be like urban fantasy, when it's able to take kind of contemporary settings, contemporary type of people, real life people, and merge it with like magic. These two things are working at the exact same time, and they blend together, and that is just Amari. What I really like about this book, and what I totally forgot about this book, is you kind of get the chosen one element. You 100% get the chosen one element. Amari is a magician. Amari is one of the most powerful people to come into this magical world, just like her brother was, but it seems like she's kind of even more powerful than her brother. So you get this chosen one element, but I like how this book discuss how her getting this chosen one element is just more of a way for people to be prejudiced against her. It's just more of a way for people to be racist towards her and to decide that she's not worthy, because when you get the chosen one element with white people, it's just like, wow, you're great, you're gonna do this, you're gonna take over the world, you're the prophecy, right? But like, if you apply that to a black person, and with the world being the way the world is, there is going to come with people being haters. There is going to come with people just being like, you don't deserve that, you shouldn't get that, and you know what, we're still going to treat you bad. And so, like I said earlier, I like how we're able to merge real things that black people go through, but also still have the try and true fantasy tropes that we all love. Another thing I love is you get that chosen one, but you're also getting this training sequence as well, because Amari, in this world, you have to like apply for a job, and Amari is applying for like one of the hardest. She wants to be a junior agent. Her brother was a junior agent. Like, they're the most powerful people in the thing, until you become like an actual agent. And so you get that training element too, because Amari's not good at that. Amari's failing tests. So like, you got those two things at the same time, because I don't fully love the chosen one trope. I like to see my characters go through some opposition. I like my characters to have to earn their stripes and not just be like, you know what, prophecy is you need to go. And then all of a sudden the main character is just absolutely amazing at everything. But you get both. You get Amari being the chosen one, which we need. We need that in fantasy, especially middle grade fantasy. We need black kids being able to see themselves in fantasy books like, you're the chosen one, you can do this, everything rides on you, you are the destiny, right? We need that, and that's what you get with Amari. But you also get the real life elements of having to deal with everything that black people deal with. We just can't act like black people don't deal with nothing just because y'all want to have just fun, but because no fantasy book is just fun the entire time, right? And then you also get this training element with her trying to be a junior. There's a lot going on in all this. I love the call to order, the call to rise. It's so good. Her feeling like she needs to go find her brother, but also now she's getting wrapped in the politics of everything. It's just all so smooth and well done. I guess if I had to have some complaint of this book, when you are getting what's going on in this world, how everything came to be, you are getting, it is info dumpy, right? You are getting just all the information really, really quickly. But I just think that's a middle grade book. Like, the book can't be all that long, because these books could keep going and keep going and keep going. You can get prequels of this book. But I am enjoying this book. So this is the last time you're going to hear me talk about this book, because we do have to move on to the other two books. So I'm going to finish this, give it its rating, and then we'll move on to the next book. Hello, you guys. I have finally finished Amari and the Night Brothers. It took me a surprisingly long time to get through this book. It didn't take me a long time. It only took me a couple of days, but I thought I would get through it quicker. And once again, I really, really enjoyed this book. What I enjoyed the most about finishing this book is that this book sets up for more books. Oftentimes when I read fantasy books, I feel no need to continue. I'm like, why does this have a sequel? Do we need a sequel? But when it comes to this book, the answer is yes. Like I said earlier, this book could have prequels and I would still be there. This book was just a whole lot of fun. You want to read more. You want to be in Amari's head more. You want to be in this magical world. I think B.B. Austin does such a good job at balancing magical world and regular world, putting those two things together, having characters in both worlds. And for this to be a middle grade book, it just fully works. It just works. It just works. So once again, this book does get 5 out of 5 stars. But we have to move on. We have to move on because I am so ready to read the last Amari book. We are going to move on to Amari and the Great Game. I read this book last year, and the gag order is I don't remember anything that happened in this book. Like, I don't know anything that went on. I like vaguely maybe. So we're going to get into this and we're going to see what the hell got going on in this book. So yeah, I'm just gonna get started. Like I said earlier, this is my signed copy. And so yeah, we are going to go. I'm going to get into this, and when I have some initial thoughts, I will give you those, okay? Peace. Hello, you guys. Good morning. I am about to work out, but I need to come and talk with you guys about Amari and the Great Game because I've made it a pretty good ways through this book. So we are back with Amari. In the first book, Amari has saved the day. And with that has come fame. It has come people really respecting Amari. So Amari is in a totally different type of world than she was in the first. In the first one, she was an outcast. Nobody wanted her around. She was considered to be one of the bad people when it came to superpowers or magical powers. Now everyone thinks she's amazing. She has proven her loyalty to her bureau, and everyone just likes her. So this is a new summer. We are a full year later. It is a new summer. Amari is still with her best friend. So her and her best friend hang out in the real world, and they also hang out when they are in the magical world. They are best friends, but she gets news that her best friend will be going to a new bureau next year, and it is going to be in London. So this is the last time they are really going to be together. This is unfortunate for Amari because Amari just got a friend. She just got a friend. Speaking of friends, she has this black boy in the real world who has no magical abilities. She has brought him into the bureau. So something about this world is that some people are born with magical abilities. Amari was. Her best friend was, but a lot of other people just become magical. You can be turned magical. And so she wants this boy who was getting tutored by her brother to be magical. So he's at the bureau too because he needs something to do. He needs some business. There's some stuff going on with Amari's brother, but that would get into spoilery territory of what happened in the first book. I feel like telling you Amari saved the day isn't spoilery because what the fuck else would she do in a goddamn fantasy book where she's the chosen one, right? So in this book, Amari is getting her footing, but she gets unstable very, very quickly because not even 50 pages into the book, something happens. Something happens that throws everything out of whack. And it is a time freeze. Time has frozen. She is on the bus with her best friend, and all of a sudden, everything just goes still. Nothing is moving except for Amari. Amari does not get frozen, but everybody else gets frozen. So once everyone, goes back to, moving around like they should, Amari has to tell everybody, y'all realize y'all was frozen? And they like, what? She was like, yeah, why were you not frozen? So Amari just got, the scarlet letter off her chest. Now she's back to being an outcast. Everybody's kind of looking at her because why was she not frozen? Why was she not frozen? Now, a lot of people do not know that Amari wasn't frozen. Only the people who, she tells. So this starts this idea, did the magicians do this again? Because Amari is a magician. Are the magicians up to no good? Because the lore of this world is that magicians do bad things. Magicians are trying to take down the magical world because they have a bunch of magic. Well, Amari got some news in the first book that like there might be a few more magicians than she thought there was, and she goes to figure out if this is true. And when she goes to figure out this is true, she gets an ultimatum that might make her have to turn on all the people she just gained favor with to be loyal to her fellow magicians. And that's pretty much what's going on. Also, because everything happened and Amari wasn't frozen and people are thinking magicians are up to no good again, Amari got kicked out of summer camp. Amari has gotten kicked out of summer camp, and they're just like, girl, we don't want you here. We do not want you here. And this matters. Amari gets invited back to summer camp, but she gets invited back to summer camp in a really bizarre way. Like, nothing makes any sense. Amari hasn't proven herself to not be the person who caused the time freeze, yet she got invited back. So she's kind of on her toes as to what's going on. Also, the prime minister, he is still frozen. So therefore, somebody else has taken his spot, and people think she's up to no good. People think she's up to no good because we've also learned another thing about this world. There are people who are completely like magical, who are not human in any way, and the Bureau does a job of keeping those people out. They don't want the magic realm and the like other realm, the supernatural realm, to like mix and mingle, because the humans want to still be able to kind of control the supernatural. But if things start getting muddy, it all just becomes one, and they don't want that. So this person who is head of everything right now is a supernatural being, and supernatural and magic are not the same thing necessarily. And so they're trying to figure out what she got going on with this, because she's the one who invited Amari back. Anyways, that is that. That is this. It's still good. Like, there's so many moving parts. There's so much stuff going on. And Amari is just so much fun. If you are someone who can like middle grade fantasy, or if you're someone who likes like Harry Potter, Percy Jackson, stuff like that, Amari is right up there. Like, it's just fun. It's just fun. It's almost mindless in a way, you know? It's just a nice reading experience. Anyways, I'm going to go work out. Then I'm gonna have breakfast. And when I have breakfast, I'm actually gonna watch Halloween Town. I have done a terrible job at watching Halloween stuff. But you saw last night, I watched Friday the 13th, 2009. That was a shit show. So today I'm going to watch Halloween Town just in the morning. Something, you know, something to get my day started. So anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Hello, you guys. I am here to give my final updates on Amari and the Great Game. So in this book, we have Amari. She is meeting up with a lot of old characters from the first book. People who have betrayed her, people who she's had beef with, also people she has built relationships with, and they are all coming together trying to solve a mystery. I would say this book, more than the last book, is a mystery book. This book is heavy on a mystery that everyone is trying to solve. But as Amari is trying to solve this mystery, she's also been tasked with being the chosen one once again. She is a magician, and she's found out that there are other magicians, and they kind of want her to be the head magician, and she doesn't know if she wants to do that. So she's battling with this idea of morality. Should she go with people who are like her, or should she go with people who have been kind and loyal to her? She does not know. She's trying to find her footing. And I find it really interesting how B.B. Austin uses the supernatural world to show these like relationships that she's having that kind of also exist in the real world. This idea of, can Amari fit in with people? Should she choose family, or should she choose trying to, get better and, go to a school with a bunch of white people? Should she be loyal to the black people that she grew up with? All of this stuff. So these two things are happening at the same time. The stuff she's dealing with in the real world is also the exact same stuff that she's dealing with in the supernatural world. And so that is pretty much what's going on in this book. This book to me is not as good as the first book. To me, this book is a middle book. And you guys know I am not very big on series. And so these books like this is why it's hard for me to be big on series or like series, because I just feel like you start getting the middle books and it's just like, did I need to read this? When you get to the end of this book, everything that happens in the end, you kind of knew was going to happen in the first chapter. Like this book ends kind of in like a, okay, what's going to happen next way, instead of in a way where everything feels complete. And I think this book also suffers from like not committing to one specific thing. There are a lot of elements going on. So Amari is back again for summer camp. That is going on. Everyone gets frozen. Who froze someone? Is Amari going to be head of all the magicians? That is going on. Amari's brother, that storyline takes a back seat. And I don't think it should. I think the things that we enjoyed in the first book kind of take a back seat a little bit in this book. And I don't think it's for the better. So I do think this is a 4 out of 5 book. And I give Amari and the Night Brothers 5 out of 5 stars. So going into the last book, what do I want to see? For me to be able to say like this book series is one of the best book series I've read. What I want to see is Amari be like a strong magician. I want to see Amari learn her magic. I was talking about in the clip before, or a few clips before, I was saying how I enjoyed the first book because you got training sequences as well as like Amari like being powerful. You got those two things at the same time. So in the third book, I would like to see more of that. Amari constantly talks about in this book how she doesn't understand her powers. She doesn't know how to use her powers. How should she use her powers? How is she going to do any of this stuff? And so I would like to see her actually using her powers. I would like to see her like actually learn how to do stuff and become this powerful magician that we've seen of her. I don't know how many books are supposed to be in this series, so I don't know if I'm asking for a little too much from a book that might be the middle in the series, but yeah, this book is still totally good, and everything you love about Amari is still here. Amari is still such a good protagonist. She's still such a good chosen one. It's just, it's a middle book. I literally said this when I reviewed this book last year. It feels like a middle book. I felt the exact same way, and that's how I know my opinion is good on this. I felt the exact same way finishing it last year and finishing it this year. Exact same way. Anyways, we are going to jump into the next book. I'm going to give you guys a book haul. A book haul because it was my birthday and I got some books. My mother bought me some books, and so I have a book haul for you. It's a long book haul, so I'm just gonna shove it in here now. But anyways, yeah, we're on to the last book in this video. Peace. Hello, you guys. I want to pop in and put like a birthday book haul. I got like 20 books for my birthday. My mom asked what I wanted for my birthday, and I was like, books, of course. And she bought me all the books that I wanted. So I wanted to come and just show you guys some of the books that I got, not in any like official capacity. Not in any like official capacity. You guys know I don't like to promote like overconsumption. That's crazy. But I don't like to like be like, look at all the books I bought. Not really my thing, not really my style. But I do like to show you guys the books that I got. But I don't like to just make like solo videos about them. So I just like to stick it in a vlog. It's too many books to like tag on to the end. So I thought I would just tag it on in between like the books. Okay, let's go. So the first book that I got, I'm not reading any synopsis because I'm not. Just know that all of these books I got because I read the synopsis, I wanted them,
And yeah, well, they packaged this up like fucking Fort Knox. What in the hell? I really didn't want to do the whole get scissors thing. We're going to save this for last. I'm not doing all of that. Let's move on to the next. Okay, so first book that I got Prophet Song by Paul Lynch. This book was the Booker Prize winner. It should not have won. I don't care how much I enjoy this book. The Bee Sting should have won the Booker Prize last year, but this book won, and so I'm going to see, should it have won? I do not think it should have, but like I'm going to see and find out. The next book that I have is Between the World and Me. This is a National Book Award winner. By the way, you're going to see a lot of literary fiction in here. It's by Coates. I read another book by this author. I don't remember. Toni Morrison did the blurb, which, like, what a flex. Anyway, another book that I read, this is a Pulitzer Prize winner, and it is Evicted by Matthew Desmond. Yeah, want to read it, and here it is. What is next? Another book that I got was The Berry Pickers by Amanda Peters. Another book I've been looking at getting. When someone else is going to buy books for me, I like to, like, get the books that have, like, been in, like, I've had my eye on. They're kind of out of rotation, so, like, you're not gonna see them at, like, bookstores, like, out because they've been out for a little while, but, like, I've always wanted them, haven't really had a reason to, like, go get my hands on them. That's what I like to do. I kind of like to clear out my backlog of books I want to own, so that's what I got. The next book that I got was Northwoods by Daniel Mason. This was a finalist for the Pulitzer Prize. Did it win it? I don't know, but Maggie O'Farrell blurbed this book, and she wrote Marriage Portrait, which I absolutely enjoyed. I need to read Hamnet very, very soon. But yeah, this book, got my hands on. What else? What else do we have? Oh, we got some fun ones. So the first thing we have here is His Bloody Project. This was shortlisted for the Man Booker. Somebody who I really like on Instagram read this book and gave it a good review. And so their review of this book intrigued me, so I got my hands on it. I'm excited. This might be the book I'm most excited to, like, read. Another book is a popular book. I feel like anyone who knows me would never expect me to get this book. But, like, I got it. The Will of Minnie. Yes, I got my hands on The Will of Minnie. Why did I get my hands on The Will of Minnie? Because it just spoke to me. Booktubers that I really, really like have really enjoyed this. The only issue is I think this is a duology. Am I wrong? Is it a duology? Is it a trilogy? It says book 1. And you guys know I don't do well with series. So, like, I just want to read the first one. A book that I didn't get that I wish I did get, since my mom was buying me books. I wish I would have got The 5th Season by N.K. Jemisin, because I deeply do want to own that book, so I will read it. But I forgot. I forgot to tell her I wanted that book, so I didn't get it. Here are some more books that we can discuss. I got my hand on Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. This book was on the best books, the New York Times best books of the 21st century. So I wanted to read it. It sounded interesting. A Visit from the Goon Squad. This book I have always wanted to own, but it escapes me often. This is why I buy so many books, you guys, because, like, I'll forget a book exists. I will want to read a book, and then once that book stops being popular, or, like, it leaves my mind, I'll never read it because I'll totally forget about it. And A Visit from the Goon Squad is a book I always wanted, but, like, never thought about it until the New York Times list. And I was like, oh my God, why do I not own that book? I've always wanted to own that book. Some more books, because since we're doing more and more books, The Kind Worth Killing by Peter Swanson. This book is not at my library. I want to read this book so bad. Everyone loves this book. And I wanted to check it out from my library. It wasn't at my library, so I knew I had to get my own copy. And yeah, honestly thinking I probably should have got it on Kindle, but like, yeah, I got it. Somebody else paid for it. Another book that I got, Jasmine Ward, Sing Unburied, why bird? Sing Unburied, Sing. This book won the National Book Award. Jasmine Ward has a couple National Book Awards. I have not read this book. Another book that I got my hands on is 10 Minutes, 38 Seconds in This Strange World. This was shortlisted for the Booker. You can tell I was just in a literary fiction vibe. This actually has a reason. I read another book by this author. This is usually the first book people read from this author, but not me, if I can get it out. Earlier this year, I read The Island of Missing Trees by this author. I gave it 4 stars. I enjoyed it. It's definitely a book I would have to revisit because, like, sometimes I'll read a book and I'm not aware of, like, the vibe of the book, so I don't fully embrace it until, like, I'm really into it. And that was that book. I think if I reread it, knowing what I know about the book now, I would actually like it even more. But yeah, I got my hands on 10 Minutes and 38 Seconds in This Strange World. Another book that I got, I have checked this book out from the library. I checked this book out from the library and never read it when I did, but I know I want to read it, so I'm just going to get it. Detransition Baby by Tori Peters. Was this book on the New York Times Best Books of the 21st Century? It was on either on the official one or it was the on the fan one. I don't know, but I've always wanted to read this book and I've checked it out from the library maybe 3 times. I've checked it out on audio, I've checked it out physically, and it's just like, okay, at least let me have it on my bookshelf to read. And do not ask me where all these books are going to go. Next we have Burning Wood by Eleanor Canton. This book has another cover. The hardback cover of this book looks totally different than this cover, but I actually like this cover better. And then we kind of have a problematic addition to the bookshelf. Americana by Chimamanda Adichie. The reason why this is problematic, Chimamanda has some opinions on trans people, and I'm not really too read up on what she said, but like it couldn't have been favorable because they be on her ass. But I've heard Americana is really, really good, so like I'm gonna read the text and I'll let you know. These are the last books. Like, you guys, this is a huge book haul. Thank you, Mother, once again. The fact that I did not have to spend my money on this book feels so good. So good. Okay, the first thing we have is Small Things Like These by Claire Keegan. We have this book. It is shortlisted for the Booker Prize. Good for that. Another book we have is by Jasmine Ward, Salvage the Bones. This also won the National Book Award, so I'm getting some Jasmine Ward on my bookshelf. That's good. Another book that I've also already read is Colson Whitehead, The Nickel Boys. I like The Nickel Boys way more than I like The Underground Railroad by this author. I think actually you can kind of skip reading The Underground Railroad and you can just go watch the TV series that Barry Jenkins did for Prime, because I think the television show is 20 times better than the book. I think it is very rare for a television show, I think, to just completely wipe a book out of the water. I think Barry Jenkins did something with that source material that the source material just never did. But The Nickel Boys is the better book by this author, and I finally got my own copy, so that's great. Last 2 books and I am done. I got There by Tommy Orange. Fun, great, amazing. And the last book I got is a chunky one. It is 266 The reason why I got my hands on this book is this book was on the New York Times Best Books of the 21st Century. And I think out of all the books on the list, everyone agreed you should read this book. Everyone agreed you should read this book. A lot of the other books, like The Corrections by Jonathan Franzen is high on the list. I already own that book. Erasure by Percival Everett. I already own that book. A lot of books I already own, which is great. But yeah, never even heard of this book. I've literally never heard of this book. So I was just like, yeah, and look how floppy it is. Will Kenya read this book physically? I do want to take on bigger books, not even bigger books, more ambitious books, because a book can be short and I think more ambitious than other books. So like I do want to take on like a book like this. This is ambitious to me. Physically reading The Will of Many would be ambitious. I want to take on ambitious books, you know. So yeah, these are all of the books that I got. I'll show you guys. I'm not holding them. These are all of the books that I got. And yeah, it's a good stack. It's a good stack. I love when I can like start filling up. Oh, I gotta open up this one. Do you guys care? Because I can't puncture this without ripping my nails. The name of the book is I Am Homeless If This Is Not My Home. That's the name of this book. Oh, there it is. I got it. I am homeless if this is not my home. That is the completed book haul. I will talk to you guys later. Peace.
Hello, you guys, and good morning. I am here to come talk about Amari and the Despicable Wonders because I made it a good chunk through this book last night. So we pick up exactly where we left off. If you remember in the last book, in Amari and the Great Game, we picked up a whole year later. But in this book, we are right where we stopped. And everything is pretty much in hell. There is a war going on between the magicians and the Bureau of Supernaturals. And both sides are evil at the current moment. And Amari is just stuck in the middle. She's actually kind of worse than stuck in the middle because both sides do not like her. But because Amari still is a magician, she is still able to be around the magicians. And so she knows what's going on over on the magician side, and it's all bad. We also have Quentin back. Her brother is back. I guess that's a little spoilery if you didn't read the first two books. But if you didn't read the first two books or you care about reading the first two books, I don't see why you would hear about the third book. Quentin is back. And basically, they are all trying to save the world. We have the gang together. They are all trying to save the world. In this book with Amari, we see Amari in the most danger that we have ever seen Amari. And what's worse is Amari don't have no magical powers. Amari don't got no magical powers. Amari is just a middle schooler. She is just a middle schooler trying to find her way. And she's tagging along with her brother. And Amari's biggest issue right now is wanting to save the world, wanting to do what's right. She's fully leaning into this like chosen one aspect because there's been 2 full books of her, battling. But her brother, because her brother is back, he's kind of like, girl, you need to sit your ass down, because her brother hasn't been able to see Amari go through everything Amari has gone through in the past year and a half. So he still sees Amari as this child, like she needs to stay out of this stuff. But Amari's like, I can really help, I can really do this. So Amari's doing that. Like I said, we have the whole gang. We have pretty much everybody who's in this picture. We have Amari, we have Amari's best friend, we have Dylan's sister, and then we have, what's his name? From back in Atlanta, back on the block, back in the hood. He's here too. So we have the whole gang. We also, with Amari, have a little bit of a love interest going on. We're seeing Amari also deal with some personal relationships, and there's a little bit of a love interest brewing in this story. So far, so damn good. This is more on track with Amari and the Knight Brothers. I hate saying that because it sounds like I didn't enjoy Amari and the Great Game, and I very much so did. It's just some elements of Amari and the Knight Brothers aren't in Amari and the Great Game, and I missed those elements. And they're right back here. I'm assuming maybe it was a thought of a lot of people that we didn't get a lot of personal stuff with Amari and the Great Game, because this book immediately starts off with Quentin is there, Amari's mother is there, and what's that boy name? What is that boy name? The boy from the neighborhood. I done forgot his damn name. He's also here from the very jump. We're seeing Amari with her best friend. Everyone is there. Everyone is together. And that's what was missing in Amari and the Great Game. We didn't get any of the personal relationships that Amari had built or that we had come to know. It was just a lot of mystery and sleuthing. And I think it kind of that's the best part about Amari, in my opinion, is the contemporary elements of it. And so they're right back here. We're getting to see the relationship between Amari and Quentin. What I'm really enjoying is we've heard all this stuff about how amazing Quentin is. Quentin is one of the best agents the Bureau has ever seen. He's a legend in the supernatural community. And now we're actually getting to see him at work. We're getting to see all these stories that we've heard about him. And all this is so good. We're also getting introduced to some new characters that are really, really adorable, honestly. I am just really, really enjoying this. I cannot wait to read this book throughout the day. But I'm going to stop there because this, at the root of this vlog, is a non-spoilery vlog. So I'm going to stop there and just tell you I'm enjoying it. I will get to the end and wrap up the video. And I will tell you what my final thoughts were. Today is Halloween. Therefore, I'm going to put on, I bought this really, really cute Halloween vest that I cannot wait to show you guys. This video is going to come out a day after Halloween, which is kind of flop coded but we flop in all different types of ways, to be quite honest with you, because what the hell happened to Blackoween? Do y'all remember when I bought up Blackoween, the Blackoween-a-thon? What happened to that? What happened to any of that? Let's see. I'm going to put up the prompts and let's see, did we do any of these prompts? Let's see. Let's see. A book with the vibe of nights. With night vibes. A book with night vibes. Amari and the Knight Brothers has night vibes, obviously, even though it's not night in that way. It is, but it's not. All of these books have night vibes. This doesn't have really night vibes so far, but The Great Game and Amari and the Knight Brothers 100% has night vibes. A book where a deal is made. A book where a deal is made. In this book, a deal just got made between Amari and a new character. All of these books, a deal gets made. Amari ends up in all of her situations because she makes a deal with someone. She ends up battling Dylan and Amari in The Great Game because of a deal. Amari and the Knight Brothers is all about a deal. It's everything about Amari is a deal. A murder with multiple points of view. I will not say a murder because this is a middle grade book. People do die, but I wouldn't say a murder, but an Amari in the Great Game, the time freeze. The time freeze has multiple points of view. You have the people who were frozen, people who were not frozen, and whoever the hell did the frozen. And then you also have the people who stay frozen. We're still dealing with all the POVs from that. Boom. You guys, look at us. A horror thriller book with body parts. This isn't a horror, a thriller book. So, there ain't nothing I can do with that. A book with ancestral knowledge. That is all Amari. All of Amari. If you can count the fact that, if we say ancestral, it's just the people who came before you. That is all of this stuff. So Amari, let me be particular. Amari's best friend comes from a lineage of dragons, and she hasn't been able to fully access her dragon powers, but everyone in her family has. And so she's trying to figure out what she has to do to get her dragon powers. Boom, got that one right there. And then a free space. My free space is going to be read a supernatural, witchy, whatever book that's part of a series. And that is this. So I think we get to say check, check, check on Blackoween. I think we did good. I think we did good. I think those prompts were good. And I think this kind of pretty much sums up all of Blackoween. And obviously, BB Alston is black. Main character is black. There's black people throughout all of this book. Anyways, I'm going to get my day started. And I will come back to show you guys my Halloween vest. Peace. Hello, you guys. I want to discuss this vest that I got on Etsy. Isn't something about this so your kindergarten teacher vest that she wears on Halloween? I got this off of Etsy and it is just such good quality. It looks so damn good. I just absolutely love this. I got it earlier this month and I was like, I am going to wear this. It says Happy Halloween. It is just so damn cute. I just feel so festive. You guys, let me show you guys the candy I will be giving out to the kitties. So yesterday, I went and got Halloween candy for the kitties, and I put it in this little thingy, cute, fun, whatever. Why my man said I got the nastiest candy on the block? Why did my man look through here and was like, nobody gonna ever come back to the house for candy? I like my selection. Let me show you my selection. So, gummy worms. I love gummy worms. I love gummy worms more when I was a kid. They hurt my teeth now, but I love gummy worms. Gummy worms is good. Nerds. Are the kids too good for nerds now? If I remember back in the day when you used to put candy and we used to do candy bags for school. When you got nerds, I used to love getting nerds. What else? Now, Laffy Taffies. I don't like banana Laffy Taffies. I'm going to be honest with you. And baby, this thing is just full of banana Laffy Taffies. But people, my daddy like banana Laffy Taffies, but there's other ones. Is there an issue with Laffy Taffies? What else I got? Now, there is some questionable candy. I don't know what Chuckles, what are these? What are these, people? I have no clue what Chuckles are. I fear they might be those candies that like old people have sometimes where they're almost like those like orangish little candy. They give me a headache. I hate them. I'm not going to eat it to find out. Somebody else's kids are. But yeah, okay, I'll put this in the, not great. Then next, you have these like lemon head, like lollipop suckers. They different. It's different. I like lemon heads. I really like lemon heads like these. I like the smaller ones, obviously. This is too big. But like kids like them. So I'm putting lemon heads on good. Lemon heads are good as hell. I don't care what nobody say. And this is fun. I'm going to put these in bad because they do kind of look like knockoff suckers. So this can go in bad. We only got 2 bad so far, but we got 4 good in my opinion. And then next we got Jawbreakers. Jawbreakers are so Halloween. Nobody wants Jawbreakers on any day except for Halloween. I think this is Halloweenish. Jawbreakers going good. I don't care what nobody says. Now laters, these Now Laters are one of the best candies. This might be an unpopular opinion. Now Laters used to be really, really hard. They used to damn near break your jaw, but they reformulated them. And now they're pretty soft. They're soft enough. I like hard jawbreakers. Now Laters. I miss when the Now Laters were harder and the paper used to get stuck to the candy and you kind of had to eat the paper. I miss those days. I think the hard Now Laters were better, but Now Laters are good as hell. Especially this green one. This green one, be serious, and a great good. Nope, now latest goes in great candy. I don't care. What else I got going on in here? Smarties. No, I do not like Smarties. But Smarties is so Halloween. Like, who don't have Smarties on Halloween? Everybody got Smarties on Halloween. I just don't think my candy that bad. I don't think my candy that bad. And something I want to eat myself, they have these lemon head chews. These are so good. Back in the day, you used to be able to go to like the dollar store and they used to sell these in like the little like movie theater boxes. These are so good. The kids might not even get these because I might take all these out of here because it didn't come with a lot. These are so good. But yeah, he was over here talking about my candy and I'm like, wait a minute. I thought my candy was pretty good. Anyway, I just wanted to show you guys my Halloween candy in my vest because I feel festive. Yeah, next time you see me, I'm going to be wrapping the video up. So peace.
Hello, you guys. I have come to wrap this video up. I hope you all had an excellent Halloween. And yeah, we are done. I have reread the entire Amari series and read the new Amari book. And I am going to go ahead and say what you probably already know. I 100% recommend this series, especially if you have like a young black girl in your life or a young black boy in your life. I think these books are so important and more people need to be reading this series. The series is so much fun. But let's get into the last book of this series that I have, because as long as more Amari comes out, I'll be reading more Amari. But this is the last book that I own that has come out. This book was really, really enjoyable. I think this book got back to the root of why we enjoy the Amari series. We got to see Amari with her gang, with her people. We got to see Amari in precarious situations, trying to get out of it. I said in my clip going into this video, I wanted to see Amari use her magic more. And unfortunately, with the way the second book ended, that was going to be really hard. Amari goes into this book not having magic. But when it comes to everything else, I do think I got those things. We got to see Amari with her friends. We got to see Amari make new friends. We had new characters come into the fold. This world got even bigger. We got to see psychological tricks being played, you know? I think the stakes have gotten higher. And so I just think this book is really, really good. I have talked about enough Amari. It gets to the point where like I can't say anymore about goddamn Amari. I have spent a week with Amari. It's time to let Amari rest, okay? So anyways, yes, I love this series. Yes, I will be continuing in this series as long as there are more books in this series. And I think you should pick it up. Thank you guys so much for spending the week with me. And I'll see you guys in the next one.